Aloha. Uh, Volume 2 of the Actiq Diaries. I'm sure you're thoroughly excited to hear more from my monotonous voice. Sorry, not a whole lot I can do about that, okay? Again, to put you to sleep, maybe that's a good thing. I know I have trouble sleeping at all. So, I decided to check in tonight to put to the topic a couple of issues. One issue: are you clean if you are off of your drug of choice and on Suboxone or even methadone? Are you really clean? Well, if you are not getting high, and that's why you're using before, or even if you're not getting high and you're not using the same thing that you used before, but you're using one of the medicines that is specifically used to beat or avoid withdrawal, then okay, I guess. I've been through it, and I'm honestly, that might be the one way that I would be willing to do this differently than how I am, which is almost killing myself because I have no clonidine, got no Xanax, I've got no Ativan or lorazepam, same thing, or even chloral hydrate, to beat back any withdrawal symptoms, or minimize them. I wish I did. And I pass no judgment on people that, get themselves through their withdrawals in any way they can. If you've been through withdrawals, I think you can sympathize. If you can minimize them, you'll never get rid of them completely. The closest I've heard to that happening is ibogaine. You can look it up, and it's a root that's they take like stone to it and they grind on the roots of the iboga tree, if that's how you pronounce it. Tree or plant, whichever it is. And it's got like these hallucinogenic properties and whatever, and it seems like everybody that goes through this, they have a pretty heavy trip, sometimes even a couple of freakouts along the way, pretty intense, but then it gets them through their initial physical withdrawals, that first 72 to 96 hours, where normally you're crapping yourself, sweating when you're freezing, or your body can't regulate its own temperature. I've done a lot, I admit, of reading on the topic of withdrawal, and well, it's not available in the United States, not legally. You have to go to Mexico to get this treatment, and it's cost prohibitive. So, such as that for me. What else? Well, I'll tell you this much. I am already in the back of my head thinking about when I'm going to relapse next. This is number 7 for me. 6 or 7. As far as detoxing. I've gone as long as, about 5-6 months before without touching anything. But, in large part because of the availability of this stuff in my house. Constantly, every month, a new supply comes. I've made the poor choices to continue taking them. And I'm here to tell you that this shit turns you into things that you thought you never would be. Or, I mean, I stole a few things when I was a little kid, like candy, a couple candy bars and stuff like that. And, this is nothing like that. This is me being a grown-ass man of 40 years old now, who steals from the person that cares about him more than anybody else in the world. How's that? What kind of person does that? And is it a total system failure for me? Just on my part? Is this and I don't think I have the luxury of just saying, well, it's the addiction. Because a lot of times I have started taking those medicines again when I'm not addicted. And I'll admit, the cravings, they always seem to come back when I see the stuff. When I'm away from her, it's easier. And that's the thing that tends to frighten a little bit. That I may ultimately, in order to beat this and get back to my old self, I may have to leave. Not just for a few months. I've tried this before. And because my wife has physical issues, and because I miss her and my family, my kids. I end up coming back. And I'll wait a little while, and always it's like this game. And then one day I just get sick of the game. So what if the game is life and death ultimately? So what if this shit rots out your teeth, makes you totally physically dependent on what amounts to an opioid version of crack, because it absorbs into your system just as fast as you can dissolve it by rubbing it against your cheek, on the inside of your cheek. So there is that, isn't there? My apologies for being so goddamn lazy and not even bothering to sit up in my bed. This is what you do when you withdraw, people. Look at this and despair. If you get yourself addicted, this is, well, it's exactly what you have to look forward to. And even worse, because the real, the most intense stuff has already happened, I believe. Now I have quite a while to go. Withdrawal symptoms that could last, depending on which doctor you talk to. Withdrawal symptoms, anywhere from a month